at bricks on the screen, healthcare in between. Physics, art, and math got us down this path. Historical tales come alive, where science and stories dive. Blended facts with heart, knowledge from the start. Need bridge blues we sing to the future memory. Health and science in the mix. Need bridge got the fix. Complex subjects made clear. Every episode with cheer. Ramona leads the way, explaining day by day. In the world of digital streams, turning knowledge into dreams. Through the tales of old, new stories unfold.
MedBix Webcast is a new kind of healthcare media channel to break the silo mentality and foster interdisciplinary thinking. Our mission is to fill that gap and to create a curiosity through different lenses, tapping the passion that guided the historical figures in medicine and bringing present-day groundbreaking research to the front lines. We interview physicians.
Hey, that's welcome to the MedBix Webcast. This is Raman Annamaraju. I'm still, this technology is kind of a relatively new, which they changed the platform completely. So I'm learning still. So you excuse me, sometimes there is a bugs up there. But, I tell you, I have a wonderful woman today. They are my two favorite women today. But one of them is just helping me. She was, that during the pandemic, I was isolated, everybody like everybody else. I started writing a book, and that I needed somebody to depend on and see how it works and what I'm writing. And there is this woman, I met her online, and she became one of the best supporters of my life. So she supported me every day. She showed up and supported me. She's from Omaha, Nebraska. Among all the cities in the world, she's from Omaha, Nebraska. She did that. So she really contributed. I'm going to bring her a little bit of in a minute at the end, but she's going to help me. But that, why I wrote this book is basically a lot of doctors, they want to do innovate. A lot of medical professionals want to innovate. Innovation requires not just the medicine, reading about the medical books. It requires understanding of the overall, all those things, a polymath kind of thing, mathematics, physics, chemistry, and art. Even philosophy and psychology, all of them are as important as anything else. That is the reason I started this. It fuels the innovation. That's the reason I started this channel, to innovate, fuel the innovation. Healthcare 100% require so much improvement. We are, as you saw in the debate, is just unbelievable. So that's the reason I started this MedBix channel, and well received by all of you. Thank you so much for this. I got a great reviews. Thank you all. I'm going to talk with Ursula Lentine. She is a minister. I know her for a long, long time. She is a family friend, and she was a wisdom. One time I had a lunch with her mother and her mother told me, my daughter is a vivacious reader. That gave me such an impression of her. It is, I remember my father reading all the times. Whenever I see my father, he was reading the book. So my mother used to get upset with him all the time. So that curiosity is really stuck me a chord with me. So Ursula Lentine, joining from Atlanta, Georgia, my hometown, and she's a minister, subconscious work, internal family things. She is a pranic healer. So let me bring her to the table. Let me bring her to the Oh yeah, welcome, Ursula. Welcome
Thank
to the
you.
Big webcast. I'm going to put you in the complete screen for a while, and
Okay.
tell me a little bit about your background. I know about your background, but if you tell us a little bit to the audience, it would be good.
I was just wondering what aspect of my background, would be interesting. I'm coming from a metaphysical background, really. So spirituality is the background of the metaphysical reality. So metaphysics, people don't know, boiled down, an angry person lives in an angry world. A peaceful person lives in a peaceful world, yet they're next door neighbors. So how can that be? That can be because our perception of reality comes from our historic input, right? In our hard drive, we have beliefs, we have culture, we have understanding, and then that's how we see the world. So I was raised in Michigan. I lived in Los Angeles. I've been on my spiritual path since the second grade. I had a very profound experience, but as a child, I didn't even know what it was. I felt the presence of life itself, just the beauty of life that we actually have available to us. Um, and I also understand that community is vital. When I was living in Los Angeles, again, studying, traffic was so bad in Los Angeles that I would read as I was driving. Talking about reading, I just recalled that. Then I lived on an island, off of Antigua for 10 years, and it was a difficult time. We had 5 hurricanes, category 3 and 4. So, my life has been threatened by nature, and I love nature. I live in nature. It was profound living on an island. People think, oh, fantasy. It's not a fantasy. It's the combination of living on a farm and a boat. So it's
Mhm.
very isolating. And when we went through the pandemic just now, we could see the damage that isolation causes. And it is very, very important for us to stay in community. Uh, After 9/11, I left and I moved to Atlanta here, worked in real estate, was a board of realtors on a chair, all of that, got my broker's license. Then the 2008 crashed, and I said, you know what? If this is the way things are going to go, then I'm just going to do what I know, what I love, and express who I am. And that was spirituality, metaphysics. And then since then, I've got my doctorate in consciousness studies, and that's where quantum physics, metaphysics interact. So, and then primarily what I do now is subconscious work, and we would go very deep inside, and I heal out traumas and belief systems that are holding people back from living their best life and really bringing their full potential into manifestation, into an experience, rather than, oh, one day they can actually shift what's going on inside of them. Mental blocks, people going through life transitions, they don't know what to do, they forgot who they are, they feel stuck, they know they have to make some changes, but they don't know what they are. So we do this inner work, and then everything opens up.
So, Ursula, we are in the middle of the big elections now. People are divided by race, be divided by Democrats or Republicans, or by party, by sect, by everything you can imagine. They're divided by gender. What is this divisions that creating so much? It is taking the country a little bit one step down when the divisions come up in the picture. So, how do we solve? That I remember there is a guru came into Atlanta one time, and he wants to do all the to spread a peace. He wants to do the all the officials. He asked all the Atlanta officials, city officials, to come do meditation. So what can we do? This kind of a very rifting in the public, very public rift in the understanding of each other. What can we do? So why it is happening, first of all, to start with?
Okay, united we stand, divided we fall. It says it on our money. And it is a law and a principle that, remember I said isolation, right? So that's divided. You're away from other people. When people who are in power want us to be divided, it is because they can have more control over us. So we, the people, it's in our Constitution. We have to be together in order to move in the right direction. When our mind is split, say someone's trying to make a decision about where they're going to go on vacation and they have a split mind, they go nowhere. They can't move, they can't think, they can't plan because of the split mind. So wherever powers that be want us to be weak, they put us against each other. So even within a family, if a parent is being unkind or too controlling, they will divide the children against each other so the children don't gang up on them. So micro version, macro version. So that's this minor picture, right? That's the worldly way. If we go a little bit higher than that, we are in a 2,000-year shift. So we were in the Piscean age, and now we're moving into the age of Aquarius, just like the songs in the 1960s said. The age of Aquarius is less patriarch. So we came from a patriarch system. It worked for a while. It's not working anymore. So now we're having to find something new. And that is, it's a true democratic system where we're all working together. Before all these inventions, we were nomadic. We all traveled together. We lived in small villages when we finally found, a place that we can cultivate agriculture and from the sea, get our food. But we were interdependent. So now we're like, oh, everybody does something for us. The government, the this, the that, the what, the programs, and people are helpless. They don't know how to build a fire. They don't know how to get along. The divorce rate's off the chain. Like, we have to learn. This is a time for our culture to get more independent and inner resourcing, instead of saying, who am I based on other people's belief systems, or they're telling me who I am. Oh, you're a Democrat, you have to behave this way, or you're a Republican, you have to vote this way. And we have to say, no, I want to understand what I stand for and go along the lines of what's going to feed me as a person, as a family member, as a community. And if we don't like what's happening, we forget that we have a vote, we have a voice, and we can say, no, we're not tolerating that. But because we've been complacent for the last decades, slowly, where we give our power away, we give our privacy away. And that is a system. So we have to wake up and say, no, and then regroup and say, listen, what's going on? What do you believe? What do you believe? And have more conversation and more community, like you're doing on your show, to have new ideas, say, okay, we need to make some changes. To me, the political parties are one party. They're not two. Good cop, bad cop, right? They're always playing the game. It's like a tennis match. It's a distraction because they want to confuse us. Remember the two ideas. If we're in a state of confusion, we can't make decisions and move forward. So there's a lot of distractions going on that are unhealthy for the American citizen.
I came from a small village in India. It's always, I had a bullock carts. I go on there, watch the stars all the times, go to the fields. And I had a very relaxing world. When I came to this country, stress started when I was almost teenager. I came down here. The stress never stopped here.
Never.
America is full of stress everywhere because they want to be competitive, I think. But the stress is causing a lot of problems in this world. One of the stresses is that trauma. What childhood. I never had a childhood. I never had even what is a trauma means in India. Here, after coming here, now India also spreading the trauma to India too. So the trauma is now exported to other countries now.
Our signature on the world, right?
The world. So what is this trauma? Childhood trauma is there, adult trauma, and this is a mental fatigue for people. It's really causing a lot of societal problems. Can you address a little bit? And then on the top of it, technology is adding another pressure layer. So tell us a little bit about the traumas, and if you can give us a little bit of a rundown on the trauma situations,
Yes. So American Medical Association already is saying most major diseases are caused by stress. So you would think that we would all say, oh, well, then let's lower the stress, right? Let's all be healthy and lower the stress. No, we say, oh, you got to take this diet and don't eat this thing and, take these vitamins and you must exercise 20 minutes. Like, we're like, okay, let's lower the stress, lower the stress. Hey, everybody, let's lower the stress. So our corporate America is saying, you know what? We're the ones causing the stress to our employees. Our dropout rate is too high. The people are getting sick all the time. And I saw a video where they I forgot what company it was, but it was like the stress was so high on the employees that they put fences around the buildings, so when people jump out of the building to kill themselves, they land on the fence. I'm like, that's not a solution, but in a way that's like a little version of what we're trying to do here. We must reduce the stress. So, okay, the government and the banking system, the corporation, they're not interested in reducing the stress. Guess what? You and I have to have a conversation. How can I make your life better? Just like you said, your other guest here that's in the background. She made your life better because she showed up for you. She believed in you. She's like, okay, no, you're going too far. Come back to the center. That's what this relationship that I'm talking about has to happen. That's one way to start reducing the stress. And stress is not out there. Life is going to happen. We're in hard times. We've been in hard times before, many times throughout our history. Yeah. What stress is my ability or my inability to handle what's happening in the world. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, the trauma, some people, I didn't know that children go through a lot of trauma in this country. Yeah. That this is because of the the breakup of the families. Yes. Father is not there. All those things cause childhood traumas, or mother abusive mother. So what are these? What impact they have on the life of the people? I come across some people, really it impacted them so deep. I cannot even understand it, honestly. Right. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that childhood trauma that the people go through. And I'm very empathetic about it. I don't understand
you are. It. Yes. No, you are. You care deeply. I know that about you. So again, remember I was just saying about community. Most traumas, because that's what I do. I've done 6,000 sessions. Like, I get it. I know, I understand the patterns. Most traumas get stuck in our system. So if you think of the stress level, you stress, I'm not sleeping, I have indigestion, I'm a nervous wreck, right? So those things happen, and then we call it somatic, where heart congestion, just all these physical chronic issues, thyroid issues, liver, all the things, cancer. These are things that were in the body. They're irregular because of long-term problems that have been held in the body. So stress gets held in the body. When a crisis happens, say there's a car accident, say your dad leaves, he's going out for cigarettes and he never comes home. Say your mom dies, say, just very, very difficult things. That's a scar on the person's psyche, in their brain. You can even see, in brain scans, oh, there's some trauma here. So when there's a scar on our system, we're always adapting and adapting and adapting. So I'm doing a lot of work with corporate people these days. And when the person has the father who never shows up to their ball games and doesn't say, son, I'm proud of you, or don't worry about that. That's just, one little test. I love you anyway. Never any of that, right? Never good enough, never good enough. Then the child is like, oh, I'm a less than person. I'm not good enough. You know what? I'm going to work harder and I'm going to prove that I'm good. And they go all the way to the top. They win all the awards. They have all the houses. They, airplane, all of that. But there's still a big emptiness inside of them. That's coming from the relationship with their dad. Because back to that support, there wasn't a brother or an aunt or somebody, a neighbor, a teacher, a friend that says, hey, man, I got you. Forget your dad. You're a really wonderful person. So that's why we need to take care of each other, because if there's an abuse coming in one direction, if you have some support in another direction, you can make it through. But the trauma gets stuck because there's no other support. There's only the abuse. It changes the person's mind about themselves, and then they're always adapting through life because they believe that you're not good enough, or you're less than, or your value is very low, so you must compensate for it. These are the things that make us sick and make us hold our trauma in our system, and then we think we can't be a great person or have a wonderful life.
Ursula, we have some tools available for you. So I used to attend your twin sort meditation in Atlanta when I was in Atlanta. So I used to come on a regular basis almost, yes, as much as I can. And then I brought some doctors also to your
Yes.
meditation. So one of the things I learned is that meditation helps people calming down the meditation. And you taught us that just a movement, some kind of a. So I saw you were helping the people in the meditation. How that meditation is a Eastern tradition, you're bringing to the Western world. How do you feel that, and what do you think it helped you? You saw so many people getting benefited. So tell us a little bit about that, your meditation techniques, and how it is helping people.
Yes, yes. I was just looking up the doctor's name earlier today. Dr. Noose Rains and Jeff Tarrant. They did a study on the meditation that I do specifically, because there's many studies on meditation. This one specifically called the Twin Hearts Meditation, Planetary Peace. And this is by Master Choa Koksui. Master Choa Koksui is the founder of Pranic Healing and Reiki Yoga. I also teach pranic healing. And that's where you and I, you were laughing one day and you said, oh my God, what you're doing is the movement that my mother used to do in India. So
Yes.
Master Choa studied many traditions, and he was a chemical engineer.
Can you explain to the people what is a pranic healing is a little bit?
Yes. Yeah. So Master Cho was a chemical engineer. He was sickly, and he's like, okay, the medicine's not working. There must be a natural way to take care of this, and didn't understand that, his life work was going to take in that direction. So he studied the different ancient texts, the different religions, and he went and he said, what's working? What's working? Why is it working? He went through a very scientific process. He had files, he experimented on himself, and he found a very safe and effective way to use energy. The more I study quantum physics and all the quantum mechanics and the laws and things like that, I'm like, oh my God, Master Choa understood the quantum world, and he applied it to pranic healing, and that's why it works. That's why it's so effective. So if you remember in 5th grade, everything is energy. Of course, we are energy. Our thoughts cause our emotions, cause our physical conditions. So when we work on the energy body, we clean that up as far as disruptions, right? If your blood is not flowing, you get the blood flowing, and then the body's better. So it's like the energy's not flowing. You clean up the energy field, the mental body calms down, the emotional body calms down, and the physical body starts moving around again. So acupressure, acupuncture, all of that's meridians. We work on chakras. And what the Twin Hearts meditation does, they did a study, and they're working in the brain waves. They realized, they found out that the gamma waves, which is very hard for people to do. Like, we're always in like alpha and beta and, monkey mind and blah, 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 blah. So people who meditate regularly have a reading of gamma waves, higher gamma waves than most people. And then when they meditate, that gamma wave even increases. So it calms us down. What this meditation does, I could spend an hour talking about the benefits of this particular meditation. It's 21 minutes. It's guided. I do it every Tuesday Eastern time at 7 p.m. People can jump online with us, and it The more you do the meditation, the more it trains the brain. So we're focusing. We have a one-pointed focus. It's a guided meditation, so the mind can't wander around so much because the mind is curious, like what's happening next. It keeps us busy. We're doing things. And we're blessing the planet with loving kindness. So we're giving something, but we're receiving everything we bless because we're moving it through our system. So the focus ability gets better, the calmness goes down. People come in with problems and you don't even like think about them or care about them. There's such a peace in the room. After the meditation, I say, okay, does anyone have anything to share? Most people don't want to talk. They're just in a place of bliss and harmony and rest and repose. And when we're in that rest and digest, that parasympathetic state, our body is healing. So the researchers, after they did the research, they started doing the meditation because they're like, it's so obvious, I have to do that now.
One thing is documented already in the medicine is a placebo effect. Placebo effect is a very powerful one, which is the mind basically healing the lot of the. Now, I think the medical field is realizing how powerful the mind is, and it is it can cure a lot of diseases and everything. It is slowly coming up, and we are trying to understand the brain. Is a long way to go, but still we are at the beginning stages of the understanding these kind of things. Ursula, that let me present a topic on one of my favorite topics. I'm going to present it, and then I'm going to bring up the one of the contributors for this kind of thing. My best friend, she's Jennifer Niemeyer. She is from Omaha, Nebraska, but she lives in Dallas now. So let me bring her. Hello, I don't know whether she's is still there or not. I can't see her. Yeah, I can see. Hello, Jennifer. How are you? Hmm.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good, good. I want to put all three together just for a few minutes. Yeah, just so Jennifer. You were a very fact. I was introducing to my audience. You are the mysterious figure. You helped me during the pandemic, and really you were there in the my opened the book ceremony. You were there. Tell me your experience with us, in general with me doing all these med such a contribution you did.
It was interesting to work on the book. Science is a subject. It was just fascinating to learn everything, pull everything out, organize it. I mean, I'd never written a book, so it was nice to be a part of all the things and all the research that goes into actually putting together a book, what you need to do, the fact checking, all of the putting it all together. It wasn't a fast process. It took over a year, and we did work on it daily. So but it was fun, and I truly enjoyed it, and we've been friends ever since. So I appreciate that, and then I started learning a lot more about MedBricks and the platform for that, which is interesting, and I personally believe that would solve a lot of problems across a lot of different industries, not just the medical field. So I'm excited for MedBricks to take off, because I think it would really be an incredible platform that would change a lot of industries.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for the compliment. Let me bring this new thing that I want to do presentation that okay. That's I hope I am getting there. That's I am. This is one thing. It's a new thing now. What do you do? This just let me delete this. I don't know why. Okay, 1 second. Give me this thing. How do I bring the presentation? They changed the thing up here. Okay, let me add this one. Just why? Okay, just I wanted to present this thing. Okay, why I'm not? Why I can't do that? Um, Maybe I need to put up all of you a little bit off for a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll bring all of us together on the side. Okay. Now I'm good. That's Ursula Lentini and Jennifer Nimani. Ursula Lentini is a minister. She was from my hometown of Atlanta. She was really a big factor, a big contribution to my life. And both of them, both women, are very big contributions to my podcast and my life itself. So let me bring a. I told you in the beginning of this podcast, the innovation requires a different kind of angles. It can be age-old wisdom. This is, I'm going to talk about 1,000-year-old wisdom a businessman brought from Italy. Okay, it's not from. He bought it from Italy. Then, okay. So this is actually a trader. He was, while he's doing a trading with a lot of people at the time. He bought a different things to the. He was a trader, an international trader in the 1,000 years ago. 1,000 years ago, think about that. So he was a trader, but he found advertently he found the secrets of the nature. This deep secret of a nature he found it, and those secrets now helping the unraveling the secrets of medicine. That's a fascinating thing to understand. I'm going to talk about that just with the trade. So I'm going to start with the story of Korean. This is a 2015. There is a contest, beauty contest in Korea. So in the Korean, one thing they surprised, everybody got surprised, that is everybody looks similar, exactly same. Not because I'm Indian telling all the Chinese look same, or somebody is telling all Indians look same. In fact, Korean press told they look eerily similar, very strangely similar. So they found out, the judges said that everybody looks same. What's the reason? What is a strange thing? So they found out, they went to all of them, a Gangnam plastic surgeon, same surgeon they went to. Plastic surgery, they went to plastic surgeon. It's called a Gangnam Golden Ratio Plastic Surgery Center. South Korea is the capital of the plastic surgery. That is a big, well-known fact. That is, so they do quite a bit of plastic surgeries there. So they found out all these women wanted to look like a one Chinese Hong Kong model. They want to look like her, and so everybody wanted her to looks, and everybody ended up with looking same. That was the really similar, very strange. That's what the Korean press said that. But that golden ratio, what the name of the clinic is interest to you, I tell you what the golden ratio is. Golden ratio is, it's a basically, this came from a Greek mythology. Greek Phidias is the god of beauty god, actually. In Phidias, Greek sculptor, he was a sculptor. And then what they found out is that he defined the beauty. It's called, they put a name on it. The beauty name is a golden ratio called, if you are 3 feet from a novel to the legs, that's a 3.6, and 3 feet up on the top. That ratio is a very important ratio to them. That is the people to look good, beautiful. That ratio between the novel to the head at the top is 3 feet, and the novel to the feet, end of the feet, is a 3.6. That ratio, 1.6 ratio, is a key. That is called a golden ratio. So the beauty defined in the Greek mythology is as a 1.6. There's a number there. Is a Phidias is the god of beauty. They defined as a ultimate beauty. But let us talk about that a little bit more. So, what they did was, it is a beauty defined as, if you have a woman upper lip, lip is, I'm going to give you a golden ratio. What is a golden ratio is? If you have 1 centimeter on the top lip and the bottom lip is 1.6, that defined as a luscious lips. Beauty comes out of it. That golden ratio, 1.16. That ratio is a very important. So in the eyes, you can do this nose. This is all you can compare with the nose, the top to the entire body. You can do golden ratio comparing with the entire structure. The ratios of no eyebrows, ratios of the structure of the face, all of them are that golden ratio fits the people who look golden ratio. They look more beautiful. Is defined as a beauty. But so what is this gold? So AI designed the gold. Actually, artificial intelligence, the user designed a human body with a golden ratio, perfect body. So it created a golden ratio or the AI image of a golden ratio, entire body, perfect body of a golden with the golden ratios. There is no flaw. But who is going to be the perfect person? There is nobody there. But they found out all the press is very interesting. They found out this woman called Helen Mirren has the perfect body, has all the golden ratio, perfect thing they say. I'm not sure about that, but at least they were saying that golden ratio is the Helen Mirren is the perfect, closest to all the golden ratio of the entire body. But so it is actually the story started with the golden ratio in the year 1100. Year 1100 in Italy, in the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Leaning Tower of Pisa is a very, very famous tower. And then is the Leaning Tower of Pisa in the Leonardo. He was born. Is Leonardo of Pisa. He was born in Pisa, city of Pisa. The story started there in the city of Leaning Tower, Pisa. In the city, what they found out is that Leaning Tower. It's not moving. Just let me move this one. Okay. His name is Leonardo. Leonardo Pisa. He was born in 1170 AD. Okay. He was. Are you saying something, Jennifer? So his father was a naval merchant. Okay, his father was a naval merchant. He was a naval merchant. So he was going from Italy, southern Italy, to Africa. I tell you, he was taking Leonardo Pisa to be along with him. He was a young man at the time, 16-year-old. He was traveling with his father, a naval merchant. He was in the 1100 AD. What they're doing is Fibonacci. His name is also Leonardo Pisa is also called the Fibonacci. I don't know how he got this name. They call him Fibonacci. Okay, he came long before another Italian explorer, Marco Polo. He came long before that, actually, 500 years before that, or maybe quite a bit, 300 years at least before. So his father was traveling from Sardinia, the coast of Italy, southern Italy, Sicily, southern Italy, to the Africa Annaba airport. They're traveling 200-mile radius there. That's a distance between the Sardinia, Italy, and the Annaba, Algeria. They were coming there to trade things. What they're trading is so. Fibonacci, which is a Leonardo Pisa, was with his father, who is a naval merchant. He was doing the trading there in Africa. What they're trading in Africa? That's an interesting thing, actually. They're trading. So Italians are bringing silk, probably from China or something. I don't know at the time. But wine, they introduced the wine to the West, probably. So to the Africa, the Annaba airport, seaport. They're bringing the salt, and they wanted the Indian spices. They don't go all the way to India. India is too far. So Africans are traveling to India, bringing the spices from India and gold from India. They're exchanging the wine and these things. They're exchanging between. This is the trade went on in the Annaba, in the African continent, the top of the Berg of Algeria. Annaba is a part of Algeria now. So that is the trade. So Fibonacci, who is a Leonardo Pisa, used to go along with his father, his 16-year-old. So, but what he found is interesting. He's a very curious man. Ursula is talking about curiosity. He was extremely curious. He saw that that Roman numerals, they have to count, right? You have to count money, you have to count the products. So he's counting the Roman numerals that you see on the left side, all the Roman numerals, one, second, third, that strikes, you see that. Then he saw Arab merchants. Arab merchants are doing something different. They're only one digits all the way. They're counting a different technique, different technique. They're doing different numbers. They're doing. They were surprised. He was surprised why. So it's complicated. Roman numerals go bigger and bigger. When you go 999, 999, it becomes a huge. So is they're doing only one number, only 2-3 digits. They're doing that. So he was very curious, and he wanted to know what is that. And then he saw something there. He saw something. There's a zero he saw. A zero, he never something that's interesting to him. Why they're using a zero? This is, so those are Hindu. They brought these numerals from India. Hindu numerals, they are all from India actually. The numerals came from India. The Sunya, they call it zero. So the Fibonacci saw that zero. He was very curious about the zero. He wants to understand there is no zero in the Western world, Western mathematics, Western numerals. There is no zero. So he did. So what he did was that India in the 6th century, long before Fibonacci, India was using the zeros. Sunya, actually, India, Brahmaputra is a mathematician. He was using the zero in the places, like a 10. Zero in the second place is 10. Is it 2 zeros will be 100? It depends on the place value. They added a Brahmaputra, we added a place value to the zero. That has never been, this was a shocking for Fibonacci. Fibonacci was very integrated by that numerical system. It's actually the zero has such a powerful value. It is a Gwalior temple in India. It's actually first historical thing that mentioned about zero in that temple. It's called Sunya. You can see that in the temple inscription. That zero, he took it there, the place value, that he came back and he learned quite a bit of Hindu numerals, and he wrote a first Western mathematics book. He called it Liber Abbasi, the book of calculations. In this book, he writes Modo Sundaram in the method of Indians. That value, place value, 10, 100, 20, 1,000. It depends on the place that number is. It became a runaway hit his book was became a popular. Liber Abbasi is the first mathematician, Western, Fibonacci is the first Western mathematician that published a book in the Western mathematics. He brought the Indian numerals to the world. So he mentioned, in fact, in his book, Mono Sundaram, Method of Indians. That's like a place value, how you put those things. That's a very fascinating thing he did. He loved mathematics. He created one of the sequence. This is where the power of his mind is. He created one of the strange sequence he found out. It's called a Fibonacci sequence. It's named after him. It's a 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. It's numbers, random numbers look like. But one thing you see, if you add a previous two numbers, that's the next number follows. 0, 1, 0 plus 1 is 1. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 8 is 13. 13 plus 21. So keep on adding. This Fibonacci sequence is called. What is the big deal about it? But there is a big deal about it. He unraveled the nature's secret during this process. I tell you what he unraveled. He found the deep secret of the nature. So what is that deep secret? If you see flowers, for example, all the flowers follow a Fibonacci sequence. You never see in between 4. You see 2 petals, 5 petals, 8 petals, 13. So even the nature, even the shells, galaxies, you can see everywhere you can be evident Fibonacci sequence. The nature followed the Fibonacci sequence. Even the leaves and everything, if you see cabbage and all those things, they follow Fibonacci sequence. The numbers, they follow that numbers. It's a deep secret you found out of the nature. Fibonacci sequence nature followed the Fibonacci sequence. So that sequence, you can find that Fibonacci sequence in the biology. That is secrets of biology. If you see knuckle to the fingertip, the ratio between these 1 point, the numbers are 8, 5, 8. That's a Fibonacci sequence it follows. The measurements are. In biology, the human body is embedded with a Fibonacci sequence. So the second one, try to move this. Yeah. So Fibonacci, actually stock market, they use a Fibonacci sequence for the stock market, secrets of the stock market. They know when the stock is going to go up or go down. Actually, they call Fibonacci sequence, Fibonacci stock market, they call. It is a very software they use it. Fibonacci follow the Fibonacci sequence to measure the stock market, in fact. So Fibonacci sequence is that another secret you found the Fibonacci sequence. If you want to find out your number one, who is your origin, person of origin, go back to the ancestry. If you go back, if you use a 23andMe or ancestry.com, if you want to find out who is your number one, the origin of your number one, you want to go backwards, see who is your grandparents. You want to, it usually follows the Fibonacci sequence backwards. So you want to find out, that is very nature is following our birth itself, following the Fibonacci sequence. So that then golden ratio, that beauty came from Fibonacci sequence. Why I was talking about a beauty. If you take the Fibonacci sequence after 5, if Fibonacci sequence numbers are 8, 13, 21, the previous numbers are added, right? So that sequence, if you divide the following number by previous number, that's a 1.6. That's a ratio, is called a golden ratio. That's where the Fibonacci golden ratio came on. You see golden ratio everywhere. That the beauty is defined through the secrets of the beauty. He defined through golden ratio. He came out with that one. So actually, he was indirectly created the golden ratio. Fibonacci created a golden ratio in this one. So that's 1.168. So all the measurements has to be. So that's what the beauty is defined as in that sense. But so Courtney Cox, for example, she did the lips. She did that. That is a golden ratio. Lips, they found out there's a golden. She followed the golden ratio. Lips, eyes. A lot of people do that. That's a golden ratio. Follows the lengths between the entire golden ratio. You can create the entire structure of the eye. So that's what the Koreans follow. Koreans do a lot of surgeries. They follow the golden ratio. That secret is of the plastic surgery to make it beautiful. Now, so you can entire face you can divide into the golden ratio that they did. AI can do that. So you don't have to be. But is a beauty is the beholder, eyes of the beholder. It is a beauty is wrongly defined in that sense. But actually, that is not where we come in the picture. This is the what they did was wrong in the Korean beauty pageant. So that is everybody looks same. It doesn't make any sense. So we should not be defined. Beauty is a much more bigger than that more concept of beauty. Outer side beauty, inner side beauty. They're all together in that sense. But the secrets of the Fibonacci sequence really gave a different world. Medicine. We never thought, to do Alzheimer's, to detect Alzheimer's, you have to do quite a bit of a MRI, CT scan. Still, you cannot find out sometimes. But you can do Fibonacci sequence. If you are if you follow the walk of a people, gait analysis, it it does. That's a great biomarker. They follow Fibonacci sequence, the steps. If they don't do if they deviate from the Fibonacci sequence, it could be Parkinson. It's the greatest marker, in fact, one of the best biomarker. Just walking, observing without any MRI, CT scans, by observing the walking, you can tell somebody is prone to the Alzheimer's or MS, Parkinson diseases. You can tell them in advance. Just watching them by steps, and if they are beyond, it is a deviating from the Fibonacci sequence. For example, blood pressure is a cardiovascular disease. It's a more you don't need a blood pressure 120 by 80 is that 1.6 is a golden ratio. The Fibonacci sequence, Fibonacci golden ratio is following. So they say that if the blood pressure is a deviate from the golden ratio, is a systolic and diastolic blood pressures, it is a great biomarker for cardiovascular disease. Think about that. You don't need all these fancy machines. So beyond that, this can blow your mind. It's Fibonacci sequence. 1,000 years ago, the man who invented the Fibonacci sequence came up with a brilliant mathematics in that sense. In the sequence, what it does is, if you take a simple patch, breast cancer detection, you need a mammogram, you need MRI, you need ultrasound, all the expensive equipment. But he came up with something strange. You take a temperature patch, you put on the breast of the woman to check if the variation of the temperature, you take the measurement of the Fibonacci matrices, they call, and then a particular number matrices are matching 0.09. That's a it's a sensitivity with a 95% sensitivity, better than even a mammogram. So you can tell by observing the temperature differences in the breast, that Fibonacci sequence, it gives you a number that can tell you that is a malignant cancer or not for the breast cancer. Think about that, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. It is a world. It's just simple mathematics can give you diagnose the problem from anywhere. In Africa, you don't need a mammogram, you don't need MRI, CT scan. We are coming to the age of AI, and the new mathematics can really change the world. So that is the 1,000 years ago, they came up with this idea of that one. Now we are using it. So the wisdom of this one, you don't need all this detecting cancer. You need a big equipment, MRI. Now simple patch can tell you all those things. It can be infectious diseases, diabetes management. They're all finding out it is all following the Fibonacci sequence. The diabetes management, how do you manage blood glucose levels? How do you manage blood pressure? All of them are Fibonacci connected with somehow connected with the Fibonacci. Our health is connected with the Fibonacci sequence. So thank you all. It is a beauty in mathematics in saving lives. Thank you for attending this one. Thank you all. I'm going to bring my guest back here. Thank you. This is a remarkable man. 1,000 years ago who lived, a curious man, created a mathematics. Now we are using it for advanced way to detect cancers, detect diseases, and managing diseases. Think about that. Think about that. Thank you for watching. Let me bring my guest back here. So let me hide this. Yeah. Okay. Let me. So what do you think of what do you think, Ursula?
Yes. I was in the beauty business and acting and all that. So the proportions, so the read, yes, the measurements are there, but how this is experienced when somebody's looking at that is symmetry and beauty. So when things are odd, it disturbs us. So when we're in nature, it calms us down. We're talking about how to reduce stress. Nature has Fibonacci programmed within it. It may look, if you go to the woods, it may look chaotic, but it calms the person down because there are elements within nature that are scientifically balanced to read as beauty. And when we're in beauty, women we have a propensity to beauty because beauty is order. The Fibonacci spiral is order. and it puts us in order when we're seeing it. When we listen to sound meditations, there's an order to it, and order creates calmness. And it's so funny that you're doing this show. My logo has Fibonacci in it, specifically designed. You see there?
Yeah.
So I'm very appreciative of balance and order. That's why when our in system, remember we're talking about disease, and then I also wanted to say, you had mentioned the 33%, the belief system, the placebo effect. Yeah. When childhood trauma comes up and the parent says, you're a bad kid, you're going to never amount to anything, you're a pain in the butt. That is a belief system. It's not true. But that belief system, you can calculate it. 33% of you. And then you look for that idea. Yeah, I'm not good. I'm not good. I'm not good. You stack it up. And now that belief system gets anchored. So the placebo effect works on both sides.
Yeah. So, Jennifer, so what do you think of it? You gave a little bit of a life to it a long time ago. So tell us, what do you think? Did I improve my presentation, or did I do a good job? Or
You did a great job. I mean, we started out just learning how to even run Restream, which was interesting. At the same time, we were trying to put together the book. So very nice job. I think all of that's interesting. I think the one of the things that's extremely interesting is when you talk about Alzheimer's, dementia, and MS, and that there's a system to that. It's just amazing that what's the key? What turns it? Like, it'll be great science when that actually materializes. So that's exciting.
Yeah. So, that Ursula, can you tell us a little bit about your website and what do you do, and a little bit about your background right now?
Yes, I please invite everybody, all your listeners, to the Twin Hearts meditation. It's all you have to do is show up, and the rest will be taken care of. Every Tuesday, Eastern Time, 7 p.m. You can grab online. It's on there on my website. You can learn about what is pranic healing. You could learn how to do it yourself. And then that's just like we're talking about nature and energy and systems that are already embedded, right? It's there for thousands of years. Yeah. And now the way you put it together today is like, here it is, here it is, here it is, here it is. If we start moving in that direction and get less dependent on other people telling us what to do and what to buy and all of that stuff, we will become more cohesive and we'll be more in a natural flow, in a natural state. And then, of course, the subconscious work that I do for the healing work is really wonderful. I happen to be doing a webinar coming up, and that's on LinkedIn. So anybody who is just curious about the things I've been talking about can come and join the webinar. So thank you so much for having me on here. I always love talking to you, whether it's quantum physics or spirituality or political arena, whatever we talk about, it's always very interesting and fulfilling. And I appreciate your respect, Ramana, for yourself and for the people that are watching you and all your guests. You're very respectful, and that's a quality in life that we should all come to be as strong as you are in that area. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining. I was truly honored to have you, both of you, wonderful women, contributed in my life, made my life complete. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Good night. And I'm going to play Jennifer Niemeyer's video. You're going to see it now. Thank you all. Good night.
Telling their stories through our patented designs that can be worn on scrubs, t-shirts, printed on conference bags, and endless other promotional materials. Daily Wear for Medicine is the first ever of its kind to create curiosity in medicine through visual art. We at MedBricks are celebrating unsung heroes of the past who made enormous contributions to the field of medicine through our unique campaign called Daily Wear for Medicine. You can wear it, carry it, and give it.